Hello, everybody. This is Abiding Place, and we are the abiding place of heaven. And so this is the this is the 1st of October, 2019, and we welcome everybody to who's going to join us through listening to the recording later. But we welcome and honor everybody today who's with us on the recording. And I felt to start off today's engagement by sharing a previous engagement, what happened in a previous engagement. So it really had to do with us meeting 4 angel beings. And these 4 angel beings are sentinel beings, which is watcher beings. They're very big angel beings. And we were led to see them and then also to recognize what their scroll was or is. And these sentinel beings have a function to facilitate the great change, the great transover, as I coined a new word, transformation and changeover, transover, to facilitate this great changeover into the new era, especially as more and more of the old ways and of the old structures in the church are going to fall away. And so we wanted to, as a bench, we wanted to just share it with the group and see if we should start and just individually also spend a little time just to embrace these, because these sentinel angels are for us as well as individually, for us corporately. And so these 4 have different names, of course. And the first one was called Great Help. And this angel appears to be a female angel. And then there's Great Love and Great Grace and Great Peace. So as we just come together today in spirit, we just want to acknowledge and agree that we are one spirit and one heart and one mind, and we just embrace each other. And we know that we are one in the Godhead with Yeshua, Holy Spirit, and Father. And so we just embrace that oneness. And we thank you so much. We thank you so much for showing us these angel sentinel beings. And we'd like to just take a moment and just embrace them. So I'll just give you the names of them again, and we can just see how we engage with them. Maybe we'll start there and just share whatever we're being shown as we just submit ourselves also, spirit, soul, and body, under the government of Holy Spirit's leadership. To take us from glory to glory. So we welcome you angels, sentinel angels, with your purpose and function, recognizing and honoring the function that you have and our part together with you. So we honor you, Great Help. We honor you, Great Love. We honor you, Great Grace. And we honor you, Great Peace. And as we just spend this little time engaging, let's just engage with them, and whatever you feel to share, please share it.
They really are really big, but because we're outside time, space, in heaven, I feel like we are able to just, like, I feel just a real strong affection, and what I sense is that they're surrounding us. We're in the middle, and we're just kind of taking turns hugging each of them, just embracing.
have such a sense of joy about great help. um, we, when we did engage great help, we also realized that these sentinel angels have other angels with them. And one of the angels that was with this great help is an angel that we've also met before that has pillows that she throws. Um, and they diffuse tensions and stress. And so we recognize that great help has so many different resources for us to to facilitate the changeover into the dimensions of joy and peace and love that we can live in, where we don't fall down to the lower realms and get entangled in the lower realms.
I just sense a strong, um, like this is a profound amount of support. Um, and I don't know about everybody else, but I've really desired to co-work with the angels more and to have awareness of that interaction and relationship. And I really sense that this is a key piece, and it's actually very exciting.
Yes, I so agree with you, Quinn.
And we ask you, Sentinel Angels, us as abiding place. Um, we invite you to take the initiative and give us a nudge in the ways, both individually and corporately, you want to co-work with us to bring this transition that our world really needs.
Mm.
We really thank you.
Yes, agree. Hmm. Yeah, before you said that, I was just going to say that, I agree with you, Quinn, where we've maybe, not honored the angels, or maybe honored them, but not really progressed in relationship with angels, that do desire that, and we want to actually be aware. And I agree with you that your request, I agree with your request that these angels would, take initiative with us and we'd be aware of it. So it's going to be cool. Is anybody else seeing something about the different angels? Is there one particular angel that you felt to engage with?
I just keep seeing us dancing with them, almost waltzing with them and changing partners. And as we dance with them, we're getting infused knowledge and wisdom and things that we need.
Yay!
Yeah, it was such a confirmation for me earlier when I heard about these angels, because I had just come out of the closet on Facebook as far as ascending into heaven. So I felt that the timing to have their help, their cooperation with this transformation, to start talking about it was good timing. So I'm definitely going to be asking them for more wisdom and grace as I continue to post more profound things.
Yeah, I felt the timing was really powerful too, because I've just had this week also a call into stepping into a new thing that's kind of bigger than me also, Kathy. So that's really neat. They're coming as we need them and as we're already agreeing to step up.
Yeah, it's almost like if we took a step, now they're all coming to help. It's like we needed to take that initial step. And so I just thought that was really cool.
That's awesome.
I'm seeing them as kind of, up full of joy, but almost silly, And one angel I've been engaging with, has these red high top tennis shoes on and a black top hat with a red sash around his waist. I just thought it was kind of interesting. It was funny. I mean, is anybody else seeing them as being silly, or is it more of a serious environment?
Well, there's definitely this silly with the throwing pillows and
Yeah.
Did you sense which angel that was, Jill?
I did not. I haven't asked yet, so I will do that.
I think that what that makes sense to me on, Jill, is probably one of the angels with great help. Because I see that with great help, there are these funny, silly strategies that just knock out all the, getting all upset and what's the word? You're just taking yourself too seriously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. To knock out that stuff, because that knocks out these angels help to knock out the cares of this world connections to that, lower realm of the cares of this world, which steals away the so we can't accept that, because we don't belong there in the cares of this world. We belong in these other dimensions, and we must be free to float around in these other dimensions and not be entangled. So these angels, I believe, are part of great helps. Helpers. Makes sense. And we were just talking earlier about how if you want to know what the world, you want to know what the ways of heaven are, and walk in the ways of heaven, then it's going to be the opposite of what's going on in the world. Sorry. What's the opposite is where the Spirit of the Lord is leading us. So where you see all the strife, you see all the anxiousness, you see all the anger, you see all the hostility, you see all the confusion, all the argumentation. And the absolute opposite is where we are called to radiate the joy, the freedom, the fun, the play. That's all. That's Holy Spirit's answer.
We talked before also about lighthearted, and that not meaning you don't have depths, but being lighthearted. And then Michelle said, yes, and the depths are fun too. Oh, that was great.
I don't think we can go into a realm of heaven without experiencing deep joy. But I also think that there's something about the fun and the play that we've been led to engage in abiding place, and to realize that, you know, the houses, Father's houses that are within us, the dimensions and everything are places of play, and we create through play. We realize this. So this is what we are, these living beings that are very different, and we're learning to trans over into that reality.
Amen.
I definitely sense that they want to have fun, because then it's like I was seeing like what you call it, a hoedown, and this song keeps coming to my mind. Thank God I'm a country boy, you know, and I'm not a country boy. I don't know why I'm even thinking about it, but they're dancing to this song and just cheerful and having a good old time.
Boy, does the world need that. That's awesome, Laura. And I include me in not needing it.
But when does the Lord stop dancing over us with joy? It's eternal. There's an eternal dance, isn't there? And eternity is actually in our hearts, right? He has put eternity in our hearts. So the eternal dance is in us. Yay! mm. Mm.
And one of the verses to that song says, "Life ain't nothing but a funny, funny riddle."
A what?
Funny, funny riddle.
Riddle. Funny, funny riddle. Hmm.
And seriously, we're having to figure out our God's purposes for us. You know, He never intended for us to sit on a pew and be spoon fed. You
Yeah.
know, and so it's just fitting that um, we're all seeking more. And I just, when those words came to me, life ain't nothing but a funny, funny riddle, but that makes sense, because you have to figure out what you are here for.
Yeah.
Yes, it requires active participation.
Yeah. Yes, like Justin Abraham said that Jesus is Jesus's salvation message or altar call is, I'm the door. If anyone enters in by me, they can come in and go out and find pasture. So it's experience. It's all about engaging. And there's a free engagement for anybody who wants to come to Jesus. Straight up, go through him, the door, and engage heaven, where we belong. Mm-hmm.
The other thing that brought up for me, Laura, is in the message, I think it's Galatians 6. It says, make a careful examination of your life and the work you've been given and sink yourself into that. Don't compare yourself with others. And don't we just do that? Don't think too highly of yourself. Each of us is responsible to do our creative best with the life we've been given. And as I've been transitioning out of motherhood into empty nesterhood and everything, this verse has been like kind of my whole focus is, okay, what now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, don't take yourself too seriously. Don't get into
Yes.
comparison games,
Mm.
but figure out what you're designed for and sink yourself into that. And that's sounds like, how we enjoy life is, because that's what I keep getting. My bottom line baseline mandate is enjoy your life. But we enjoy our life when we're aligned with our purpose, with what we're designed to be doing. And yeah, so that's been an adventure, and it's been very participatory. No spoon feeding.
Mm. Mm. Mhm. I just started to engage great grace, and I saw like yellow light with her, with him. Was it him or her? Uh, I just saw yellow light, and it's kind of like waves, like almost like what you would think of corrugated iron to look like. It looks like these waves, and it was like radiating as waves out of great grace, this grace which was like full of the yellow light of like understanding. Mm. Mm.
Yes, and when we understand one another, don't we have more grace?
Mm-hmm. And it felt like we could just go and we could just go and stand right in front of great grace, and those waves, those yellow waves, were just like you were saying earlier, Laura, that we were actually being infused with them, with what they have, and that we could just those waves of great grace would just envelop over us. And I have a sense that because we're now engaging with them, that it's not a come and go thing. These angel sentient beings and sentinel beings, and in fact everything I believe we engage, is not a come and go, because God hasn't come and gone. It's just a addition or sort of a multiplication of that which we can then know eternally and in increased measure. So that grace of great grace we can experience right now, being infused with those waves, but we can always be infused with those waves. So I'm standing,
Amen.
like I'm actually standing almost like that great grace is like releasing this. It's kind of like you go behind you go and stand behind a waterfall, and it just the waterfall flows in front of you. I felt like that's what it was. You just go in front of the great grace, and the waterfall of grace waves flows over you. And as I was engaging this, I got this word, a lot of arguments and problems and strife happen because people don't know that there's always greater grace. If we could take greater grace, great grace to the very depths, no one is excluded, no matter where, how bound up. Mm. I also felt I felt like as we were just in this place now with great grace, that we were embraced by great grace, and it felt like tickles. We started to laugh because we felt like we were being tickled by great grace. I felt like saying, don't worry, earth, world, because great grace has come like a canopy and covers over all of you.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
I also felt like, and I think it's probably from great help, that we've been broken free from the ways we may have believed or engaged with the cloud of witnesses based on what was written in the Bible. From a lower frequency of understanding. And I heard David say, I never wanted to be a king. And I heard him say, I want to be with you all and play. And as I was listening to that, I sort of flipped back into recognizing that, you know, what was he doing when before he became king? Is just that was what he really wanted to do, is to just engage God.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was a lover, not a fighter, although then he was,
Yeah.
ended up a very bloody king, but
Yeah. And so what I was getting was that, once again, it's kind of like breaking free from the old patterns of what we've been taught, how we've been taught the biblical stories or things about when we are actually engaging these cloud of witnesses and men in white linen. They don't want to be put on a pedestal. Oh my gosh. Oh. They want to be in the dance with us and have fun with us and play and infuse us with things that just that they are. What do you guys think of that? Anybody else witnessing with that?
I am, definitely.
mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of humility that I've experienced with when I have engaged, and really just such a heart for mentorship. If not because they're so great, but they're like, yeah, and you're going to be awesome.
I was feeling like if we recognize that we've maybe, we just want to agree that we don't want to know the cloud of witnesses or men in white linen from a merely human point of view.
Mhm.
And that any ways in which we have participated in that, we are agreeing to untangle from, because we want to really know them and their true identity, and take off any limits of anything that was placed on how we viewed them, and
Mhm.
to embrace them for who they really are. Just like we decided to embrace the angels and say we want to really have you connect with us, in a deeper way. We'll do the same with the cloud of witnesses and repent for any ways we put them on a pedestal, because they really don't like that.
Keeping it real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I had a sense also that, when David was sharing that with me, I had a sense that, what he was basically saying was, there's a whole lot of us here. And we just don't want to be put on, a few of us put on a pedestal. Yeah. So we just want to embrace all the cloud of witnesses and all the men in white linen, and everyone in heaven,
All the saints in white
every
linen.
being. Yeah. You just open up our hearts to all of you. How about that?
Mhm. I feel like even saying men in white linen is restrictive, because we think in the masculine, and there's at least as many female. So I go with saints in white linen. And
Perfect.
we're beyond gender. God is beyond gender. So are we as spirit beings. But I feel like that's just opens the playing field a little more that way too.
What else are you sensing or hearing, even, or feeling?
Mm.
For me, it's just about uh, fun, joy, grace, and love, acceptance. Right now, that's just the feeling I get, and it's what I see going on around me, and
Great help, great love, great grace, great peace. Kind of all the bases covered. And I said at the beginning, I felt like they were, kind of standing in the four quadrants and we were inside. And then Laura talked about the dancing, and I see it being as a really entwined, going around one and around the other and back and forth through. And I guess visually, then that to me shows the interaction and also the completing, right? If they're at, say, the four directions kind of thing, and we're weaving in between, we need their help very much, but there's the aspect where we're the bridge for them too. And that co-laboring aspect.
Yeah, that's the gate, the gates also, for them. Because by agreement, we also facilitate them.
I keep getting hearing signs and wonders, which is part of the transition, transover.
Yes, if they're to help with that, then that's going to be a piece of it, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, eyewitness for that. Absolutely. And signs and wonders we haven't seen yet.
Woohoo!
Just going back to what you said there, Kathy, great help. I saw her just reveal that some of these things that will happen they may happen through us even, right? But they will be things that they'll be great helps to people to bring them into the freedom and bring them into the transition. So
absolutely.
Yeah, whatever that sign or wonder is, it's going to, and that we also, for those signs and wonders, will manifest that. And so, it's going to be one of the helps for people to trans over. We were just talking earlier about being able to be visible and invisible, and to transition from being visible to invisible without knowing that you are, just by engaging heaven and being in these places. We will be made invisible. We will disappear and appear.
It'll just flow from us.
Aha. And these kinds of things will become fairly, common things among the saints. We're enraptured in something, we get lost in it, and we disappear into it, and then we appear again. We haven't actually gone anywhere. We've just disintegrated and reintegrated. It's so much fun.
I see it as dissolving into light.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm. How lovely is your kingdom, Father. How lovely are your ways. How lovely are we, your house, Father,
Mm.
and all your mansions within us.
Mm.
just want to thank David for sharing with us. So, David, thank you for encouraging us, and thank you for being with us, and thank you for sharing what you did about your life and about others, and about how you like us to relate with you. And we do just agree and embrace you and honor you and all those saints. I open up our hearts to all the saints, and thank you for being fun and wanting to have fun with us. Thank you for the atmospheres of joy and love that we've been experiencing here today, recognizing you angels are showing us things about fun and about how to live in the different realms and stay in those realms. I appreciate that.
Mm.
Yeah. Mm. Does anybody have anything else to share before we conclude here?
Just a couple things come up. One is with that information from David, I've experienced that where there's one particular Saint in White Linen I've had a lot of contact with over the years, and there's a lot that's been written about him, and from lots of different perspectives, and you got to wonder what people's motivations are in writing some things, and you're like, it's not like that at all. You know, and it can be frustrating. At one point I used to get angry about it because it's like, they're maligning you, that's not what you're, you know. And it's like, just let it go, they don't get it, it's okay. You know, not your job to fix what other people believe about me, kind of thing. So that just maybe a heads up that you can come up, engage, and have very different experiences than what may be the party line on how people were, or especially some of the vaguer ones where there are already lots of different ways of interpreting their life. So there's that. And there was another thing, if it was important, hopefully it'll surface again here. Yeah, I just see almost kind of like a sacred geometry of us dancing, going through, going around each of the angels, and that, you know, engaging with them. Oh, that was the other thing. I wonder, many years ago, I've had some contact with there's been an angel named Serenity that's just been kind of there, and she's really, really big. And I wonder if she's connected with the peace sentinel, great peace sentinel guy we've been talking about here too. The point being, this is all for all of us, and there's room for us to directly engage and have that encouragement in our lives. Yeah.
You know, that's so interesting, Quinn, because like several years ago, probably around 15 to 20 years ago, I the name I put on the internet for for thing for a group I it was a group, but I put Serenity, and I guess God gave me that name, or maybe the Serenity Angel gave me the name. That is so neat. Um,
Well, there are no coincidences.
Yeah. And this was actually before this was 2009. So for me, before I was in Heavenly Realms at all. And I was at a conference and a lady came up to me and she said, there's this angel. And she described this angel, which actually looks like my avatar picture that's up. She's in this green dress and this long hair. And she's, and she's an angel of serenity is what the lady said. And I really received it. And I kind of, it, I was aware and had connection there. So that's neat, Diane. Thanks for sharing that. So do we?
I thought that it was neat what you said about surrendering the angel. I go, wow, that was so neat. Thanks.
That's awesome.
That's good. That's why it's good for us to all share.
Yep.
Yeah, I was kind of like, well, that's kind of a personal angel thing, Lord. Is that really a thing to share? So that's good. That's good.
Very good.
So do we feel pretty much complete here?
Yeah, I'm thankful for Michelle sharing these 4 seraphim angels with us, in an encounter that she had earlier, because I think it's important for all of us to utilize the angels that we have available for this transition period that we have got to get going on.
Amen. Yeah. So again, we're just really thankful for being introduced and know that we are being empowered individually and corporately with the sentinel angels. Great help, who is got a lot of joy and a lot of fun and not taking yourself too seriously stuff going on. As well as I'm sure a lot more as we continue to engage.
Yeah, thanks for correcting me, Quinn. The sentinel angels, not the seraphim.
Yeah, that's okay. And great love and great grace, who we experienced the canopy or the waterfall of yellow light of understanding over us, and great peace. And we remember our connections to serenity.
Yeah.
And we danced among them and just absorbing the light and the life and the we're not sure exactly, we never know exactly what's going on, but we know we're connecting, we're engaging, and we're interacting and creating possibilities for signs and wonders, for the different things that will help to bring the transover, the transitioning over from one way of being, one paradigm, one level of consciousness to a heavenly consciousness. And we're all here and we want to be part of that. And we're really thankful for everything that came forward here. Does anybody want to add something to kind of the nutshell here?
I think that was a good summary. I'm going to go plant all this into my garden because
Yes.
I don't want to forget.
Yes. So we just are just so thankful to Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and to these angels, and for this experience, and we can take that into our hearts and plant it in our gardens. I've got a treasure room in my mountain that stuff goes in, or however we want to put that, and we just receive those into our beings, and we ask that it be released and be made manifest in the ways that it's meant to be through our lives as we cooperate further here. So with great gratitude, we just close this session.
Cool. Michelle, are you there to turn the recording off?
Amen. Thank you.
Amen. Okay.